Sorry that took a while. For some reason, the YouTube did not want to connect up and go live. And I was beginning to think we were going to have to cancel out here for a second. Um, hey, Anita. Hi, Heather. And so that was really strange. But we're here now. So um, interesting. It says I've been live for. For 193 minutes now. I don't think so. But strange thing. Anyway, we are going to make some tassel earrings today, but first I wanted to show you the finished product of the earrings we made yesterday. That we made yesterday. Sorry, I needed to turn the volume off. I was watching Dorothy on the tablet, so we had the sound on from there. So there's our earring that we made yesterday, all finished. There is that, though. Hey, Beth. So we're going to put those back down here and let them sit here beside us. But we're going to turn down and we are going to make some earrings with tassels. We're going to make beaded tassels and then make some earrings from them. Hi, Donna. Hi, Beth. Hi, Deborah. My tablet's being a little, there we go. Now it's behaving. Hi, Jan. So we have all kinds of folks on. We're going to use these little Toho seed beads. I think they're 11s. Yeah, they are. And as the base one, and then we need one for the bottom. And I've been debating if I want to use these little guys or these guys, one or the other, from out of our bead box bargains. And we also need some deep bead caps like we used on the bracelet the other day. So these are the ones we're going to use. They work great for this because you can get quite a few strands of seed beads inside the little cap. So let's turn down and we'll get started on them. Hey, Cynthia. Bring that up just a hair's breadth. So now I've got to decide which of the beads that we're going to use for the bottom. And we could spread them out through it too. These ones are fine. They're good size. These are a little bigger. They will work also. I'm just not sure which ones I want to use. Maybe we'll go with these little guys. They're tiny, but they're mighty. So anyway, we're going to take and make quite a few strands here. Oh, I forgot to get, that's all right. Easily done. Right here. We need a couple of our eye pins. And I'm going to see if one of these beads will fall through the eye pin. If it will, we need to make it, the eye pin, we need to shrink the eye pin just a little bit, the hole on it, because we need a stop bead. It looks like it's holding, so we don't need to worry about it. So I'm going to get some wildfire. This is white wildfire. And I do have black as well, but we're going to use white because we're going to go into these almost clear beads here. And what you need is at least a couple of feet. I usually get about 3 feet, just to be on the safe side, because these take quite a bit of thread, string, whatever you want to call your wildfire. And then we need to have a needle. And we're going to thread the needle in a minute. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the side that's been cut for a while because they usually fray out just a teeny bit. We're going to put one, I only want one bead onto this piece of string. Give ourselves some room here because we're going to use this end here to tie our final strings, to knot the strings when we're done with them. So we're going to use a little bit of space. We're going to leave a little bit of space here so we have some knotting room. And we're going to over this way. There we go. We're going to knot this guy onto this thread here. Now, do you have to knot it? No, because some people tend to take this bead off. I don't, because it's just going to hide inside the cap anyway, so I don't care if it's on still. So now we're going to get a needle out, we'll thread our other end here. I hope I cut enough wire. If not, then we're going to have a shorter, less strands, but that's all right. So I have this little set of needles here. Choose whichever one you think will work best for you. It doesn't have to be any particular size. Now I do have some with, come on, you come out of there. Large hole. For those of you who have trouble threading needles and they're not always really easy to thread, you might want to use a large hole needle because it's got a really big hole. But what I do with this to thread it is I'm going to take this end here and I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to squish the end so it's sort of flattened out there on the end. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Carolyn. And then we're going to take the flattened end and go through the eye of the needle. Then we'll pull this up some so it's... Now, I adjust this as I go along and leave, take some of this long thread out of here so it's not hanging up so much when you're beading these here. But what we need to do is take one of these guys and we're going to put it through the eye. I want to make sure my eye is closed all the way, because if it's not, then it's going to allow the thread to come out, and you don't want that to happen. So we're going to go through the eye and pull it up. So it's right there. See, it doesn't want to go anywhere. It's still staying there. So now we've got to decide how many beads we want on our strand. And of course, this is going to determine how long your bead strand is. Let's see, did I get 9 or 10 here? Looks like I have 10. So there's 15. And I'll probably go 20. So here's the length of 20. And we just push that back down to our end here. And then we're going to cut this strand open. And we can get 1 or 2 of these. I think I might go with 2. Let's see what that looks like. So we're going to sit those on. You know what? I'm going to put 3 on here. I think 3 would look good, and I like 3s. So we're going to go 20 of this regular seed beads and then 3 of these. You can make whatever pattern you want. You could have interspersed all these. But their next step is to pull this last one back like so. And then you want to turn around and go back through all your beads. Now this little guy is giving me problems. Hopefully I can get through him again. There we go. And you want to go through every one of your beads here. Go back up. Now if it comes out like that, you can let that happen, but then you're going to have what you'll need to do is you'll need to pull this through and then go back in, because you have to grab every one of these beads. Otherwise your string's hanging out the outside. Doesn't look real cool. Now as I come up here, I'm going to let it go through my eye here, because it needs to go to the other side. So we're just letting it do that. Come on, let's go all the way. So there we go. Now see, because we didn't go through, we skipped over that bottom one. There is a thread hanging there. See there? It's always going to be there. There's no avoiding it. But that is what holds all our beads on the thread, is because that little guy is holding the end. So now, since we've got that done, and no, you're not finished because you slipped back down. We want you to be nice and tight here. This bead needs to go here. And these need to slide up so they're right beside that. And we'll pull our bead up here. Come on, keep coming. Thread, keep coming. What are you doing here? That one little bead's hole is small. It doesn't want to cooperate as much as the other one is doing. So we need to get those pushed up there. Everybody push up right all the way up there. And now we'll pull you up here. There we go. Now we got it up there. So now we went through the eye. So we need to go over and do this same thing again. So we had 20, I believe, and 3. So 1, 2. Do you need to make them the same size? No. You can make a raggedy end one so that you have some shorter, some larger. Instead of the the bead at the bottom, you could put a charm down there. I have done that before. It really looks cool. So I've got 7 on right now. 8, 9, 10. Okay, there's 20. Now we'll get the 3 of these guys. No problems. Now I'm going to tell you that these little purple ones have a small hole, so don't think you can use them with something that you need a larger hole with. But now we're going to back through these, pull this one out of the way, when you get out of the way, and go through the strand. Now, if I didn't have that stopper, the bead down here, when I backed up like this, I would knock all these beads back off of the thread. So that's one of the reasons you have to have that bead down there. It's to hold our beads in place up here. Now, as I came up, I'm up at the top here. You can either pull it up right now or you can go through the eye again. Each time you come through here, you want to go through the eye. Strand number 2. Now I'm going to do at least 6 strands. You see my line is already down there. I need to pull it up again. I'm going to try to at least do 6 strands and maybe even 8 or so, like that. So anyway, there's our first 2. Hey, Tina. Oh, hi, Miranda. Hey, Cindy. Are my cats back to normal? Yeah. You made something last night. How good. That's good. You're good to hear it, Cindy. So now we'll get 20 of the white ones again. And you could change these up. They don't have to be the same on each line. You could have entirely different colors on each line if that's what you wanted to do. 10. Okay. Now, if your needle isn't big enough to go through all of it, like I said, you can do it in segments, and you don't have to go through the eye right away like I just did. You can do it whenever it's easiest for you to get there. So there's 3 strands. And I know this is sort of repetitious to watch this. $16. So we pulled this one back because it's the one the thread's going to loop around. through eye. So now we have 4 strands here. I think we may be ending at 6 because I think I should have cut a little bit more thread. So if I needed to, I could add more by just putting another stopper bead up here and making a whole new strand on it. I had heard that too, but I haven't seen anything on the companion bundle either, so I'm going to have to go look for it later. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 20. And I am going to show you what happens if you don't leave the last one out when you're doing the turn. And that's pretty simple to show you because what will happen is you'll just go, and I'm just going to take the 3 purple, do the 3 purple ones instead of the whole row. Will come out after the first purple or the last purple. So you go back through. You forgot to put the pull this one up out of the way. So what happens then is you do this, pull your thread out, and voila, they fall right off. So that's why it's so very, very important to have this this one be out of your threads when you put them up there. So pull this one back out of the way and go through all of these. And if you make a mistake, that's how you fix it too. You just don't. If you notice it before you do this section, put the second row through, you can just look at it and go, ooh, I forgot. I wanted a different color bead up in here, or I don't have enough beads or whatever. Then you can just go through we're going all the way up here. So we want to go through the eye to go to the other side. So then I don't want the bead. I just want to go through. Get off there. There we go. So you can just go pull your needle out to where you think your error is, and then just pull, and all the beads will just come off. So to that point. So we have 5 on right now. And I'm going to show you what is this? Oh, one of these strands isn't tight. I'm not sure which one it is. We're going to have to play and find out. I don't think it's this last one we just did, but it could be. Looks like there's a few of them that are loose. So let's see what we got going on here. chatting and not paying attention to keeping it tight. And now I've got one of these is really loose here. And I thought it was the main one, but the one we just finished, but I'm not sure. Oh well. Anyway, what happens is once you get the beads all the way you want them, the many strand as you want, you just put your eye pins long strand up through our bead cap. Come on, there we go. And push it down and they will sit inside like so. But I am going to want some more strands and I may need more thread. So if that happens, I'll show you what we're going to do to put more thread on. The kitties never play in my stash. They're good babies that way. No, they probably just were playing with something else, or my husband's home, so he might have knocked something in the kitchen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that was 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. These are Tohos, so they're pretty consistent in size. If you're using that was 15, right? I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. Yeah, 15. If you're using a different style of seed beads, you know, the check glass, because they don't pay as much attention as the Japanese do in the consistency of the size, your tassel might have some shorter strands and some longer strands, and that's not a big deal. So and since I am running out of thread, I'm not going to get as many strands as I'd like. I think we've got 6 here now. And I think I'd like at least 9 to 10 because I think we can fit that many in there. I'll show you how to add string if you need more string. This doesn't want to keep going, so we're going to pull it out, go pull it tight up here. Then we'll go back into our beads again. Go through our eye pin. Now you can go through the eye pin in a separate move. You don't have to do it with this one when you do this move. Okay. I know I have enough to do at least one more strand with this wire. So then we'll have 7. But I'm sure that I want probably another 2 or 3 strands beyond that. We'll put it in the bead cap again and see how much room we have left. Five. 10. But yeah, this is sort of a repetitious process, but it turns out really cool looking. I think that was 15. And you can use bigger seed beads. Yeah, it was 15. You don't have to use 11s. You could use 8s or 6s if you want something a little bigger. And of course, with the bigger size seed beads, you aren't going to get as many strands in your bead cap. So these beads have a little hole. So that is another thing to think about when you're making one of these is how much how big are they? Are they going to take up a lot of room in the bead cap? Your strands, you know, just things like that. Okay, she doesn't want to feed through all at once. Why do you not want to go through this one? Come on. Okay, there's my needle. She's over here. Now I didn't go through the eye this time, so we discover which side of the eye it's on and then go through to the other side. Okay. Now I'm going to flip all the bead strands down. So they're all down here. We'll put them in the cap again. And we could probably fit, well, we probably couldn't fit more than 1 or 2 more strands in there. So we might call this good. So there is our, what it looks like. I probably could fit at least 1 more strand in here, but I don't want, I was going to say I don't want to add thread just for 1 or 2 more strands, but you know what, I am going to do that because I promised you guys I'd show you how to do that. So we're going to take our thread off of here, and we're going to take our little one here, and we're going to tie this in a knot. Come on, baby, go through. I don't think it went through. Ugh. Keep dropping that other side. There we go. So now this is the way you'd end it too if you were going to end it and not add more thread, but just end it. This would be the way you were doing it. Just tie a knot right here to hold the strings in place. Okay. Now we've got this knot, and this would be, like I say, this would be the normal way to end it. If we were ending it, and then we just trim off the extra line here. This little guy who's a bag right here, I'm just going to leave that there. It's not a problem. It's going to be hidden inside, and I couldn't get it to loosen or tighten any, so it's not going anywhere. So what you need to do to add some more thread is simply get some thread that I'm just going to get like a foot and a half, because we're only going to put 2 or 3 lines on. Cut this off. Now instead of putting it on another stopper bead, what we're going to do is just tie it to one of these loose strings right here. But we do want it to go all the way down. So we're going to come up. That's getting so twisted up I can't see which is what part of my knot here. Come on. What are you doing here? Okay. Nope, got to go all the way down to the base here. Oh, I think the knot's set where I didn't want it to. I want it way down there towards the base of the strings there. Oh yeah, maybe it didn't. Come on, you. What are you doing here? Now I'm going to get a massive string up here at the top, it looks like, because I didn't get this tied very good. But what we're going to do is we're going to get this piece in the needle. Come on. Now, since this knot is such a big one, I'm going to go through the other side, and it's going to pull it right up to the edge here. See, it looks messy and nasty, but once we cut our extra threads off, this is going to all be in the bead cap, so it won't show. So it's not that big of a problem. But I would like it to be prettier, but I'm not going to cut it off just to get it to be prettier, because like I said, it's going to be hidden. So we're going to go 1, 2, those are you who are better at excuse me, nodding than I am. Probably could have got that closer. I just don't have to do it very often because I usually have more. Well, I only cut 2 feet. I probably should have cut. Well, I probably cut 3. I should have cut 4 or 5. I didn't count those. Good thing I checked because we're right there at 20. Get your tweezer back up there. 1, 2, okay, we're up at the top. Pull this all up. No. This extra string wants to be a problem. It's now wrapped around 3 of the other legs, or 2 of the other legs, so I have to get it back off of there. Okay. Now I do not believe I went through the eye when I came up here. So we got to figure out which one this is. And it's loose, so we're going to tighten it up. Okay. Find which one it is. It's this one here. And we're on this side of the eye, so we need to go through to the other side. And again, we're trying to wrap other things into it. We want to be careful of that, not to get the other legs inside our knot place here. So go over to this side again. And I wanted one more leg. I think that'll make us 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. I'm going to do one more. We'll see how it's fitting in the cap. And I think I have enough for 2 if we decide I need 2. Come here. 2. Oops, I missed the very last seed bead here. See, it's hanging up there, so there we go. And we're loose again, so we need to pull it up. Up you go, guys. One more up there. Pull. going to go through to the other side of my eye pin. There we go. And it's still loose down there, but this will help me tighten it up because it's now got something I can use to pull. And oh, goodness gracious, it's over the other ones again. Why is this doing that? All the other ones didn't do this, and now this one that we've added is grabbing hold of the other strands as it comes up here. And it's just being really silly. Okay. Now it's tight. Okay, now we'll see how it does in the bead cap here. I think that's plenty. And I think we got 9, if I remember right, or is it 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So now what we need to do, since we're done with our 9, is we need to tie this string off to one of these other strings here. Okay. So as you can see, we have all kinds of strings here we can tie to now, since we added this other line onto here. Just have to, I'm going to take my needle off because I don't want to poke myself while I'm doing this. And then we just need to tie the strands together up here at the top and trim the threads. And now see how all those loose threads are more or less hiding inside here now, because we've got all these things to tie up, and they've all pulled together as we tied them up. And I tie these 2 smaller ones together, and then we will trim these down. And we actually could use our thread burner on these to make sure they are nice and cleanly off, and that's probably what we'll do. It's a wildfire thread cord cutter, so specifically made for cutting wildfire cords. So just push this little button, see how that gets red hot right there. You go up here to your threads, pull them out some, and just bing. Did you cut? Not all the way. Okay. Got to be careful doing this though, because you don't want to cut your strings that are inside your tassel. Oh, come on, you. One off. Now, if you don't like holding them like that, you can always put it like this and just hold it up and just do it that way. and last. Okay, so now we have our cords burnt off. Ta-dum. And it looks a little raggedy up at the top and stuff, but that's going inside the bead cap. So it goes here, push it down, so our strands are all up inside. And then we can either put what I usually put a bead or something up at the top. So actually, let's get those. I'm thinking this is smaller than I'm going to want, though. Yeah, it is. I want a bigger one. But did they have bigger ones in the box? I'm not sure what they had. Let's find out. Well, I think the lepidolite will be too big, but this little crystal might be just the ticket. So let's cut some of those off. Is GTP? No, it's not. You don't. It doesn't cost anything at all as long as you only do. I think it lets you do 3 things per day. If you want to put a picture in, if you to have them look at it with a picture, and then it gives you a really good description if you have a picture. It'll only let you do a picture one 3 times, or you have to pay for the pro one. But if you if you just get the regular one, it will let you do 3 descriptions and all kinds of stuff like that right off the bat. So now we're going to put this guy on top here. Yeah, I like him better. And I could even still use one of the little ones, but I probably want to put a spacer in between. Let's see. Let's go with this dark guy here. There we go. So now we just need to do a regular, loop up at the top and put our ear wire on, and there's our earring, our tassel earring all done. Hey, Janet. Will I use a dab of glue? You can. I'm not going to, because I cut them off with the wildfire burner, and the burner actually melts the thread a little bit, so I'm not real worried about it. You could if you wanted to. I have never bothered to do so. Now she just needs an ear wire and she's done. There's the first one of our 2. I have no idea how long I've been on because my counter's acting really weird. But I think we're not quite an hour. So we'd want this one and a dark one, since that's what we used for the top. Just one of these and a dark one. There's a dark one. And the rest of them can go back in their box because they're just going to get in my way. So 54 minutes. Thank you, Janet. You're pink and copper. Oh no, Dorothy, that's horrible. I'm sorry. Well, maybe maybe you can get hold of them and tell them you broke it, and do they have any extras that possibly you could get one? They'll probably charge you, since that was a you thing rather than a they thing. But you know, I really know you wanted to make earrings out of those, so it's something you could do. You got one earring made? I'm sorry, you're pink and copper leader. That sucks. So this is how you make it. I showed you what to do if you made an error in it, and I showed you how to add some extra string, though my extra string edition was not pretty. I'll be the first to say so. But like I said, it's hidden up in top. You could put a dab of hypo cement on the knots if you wanted to. I don't usually bother to because I tie them pretty good knot, and then I burn them off. And when they're burnt off, it melts the string somewhat, so you don't have to worry about it so much. This needs ear wire and it's done. We do still need to make a second one, but I can make that off camera unless you guys want me to keep going and fit and make the other one. But it's such a repetitious thing, I'm not sure that you really want me to. I think there's 9 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, there's 9 strands inside this bead cap. Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe they have some extras that you can just get. Like I said, you probably would have to pay for it because, you know, it wasn't a they problem, it was a you problem. Because, if they have them, you could probably. This time I went from fingertip to fingertip. Well, not quite. To get the length I wanted. And so I probably should not have to add anymore, since the last time I only did 3 feet. So squish the end here to put the needle on. Hubby just went outside. The mail may have came. Not sure I'm expecting anything though, so oops, I let it get fatted out again. Come on, baby, go in the needle. Well, I wiggled it and it doesn't want to go on now. So what I'm going to do is do this, put the stopper bead on this side. Oh, come on. I just knocked the bead off. Good going. I heard it go click, click, click on the floor. Oh, I did get something. So there's our stopper bead. Let's go to the other side, and we'll squish this side now and see if we can get our needle on. There is a needle threader in this kit of needles, but you know, I usually cannot get a needle threader to work with beans. Excuse me. Come on, you go in. The first one went on really easy. This one doesn't want to go in. Come on, baby. Gotcha. Gotcha. A large hole thread is easier to thread because, like I say, they come and come open a lot more. So there we go. We got this one started. Oh, thanks. Go ahead and go for it, huh? Okay, we can do that. Though, like I said, it's sort of repetitious, takes a while, and I think I've showed you all the little things that you might need to know, like what happens if you forget to do the stopper bead and or the end bead here. How to get it off if you need to get it off because you made an error somewhere, you know, those kind of things. How to add thread, which I made a mess of my thread I added, but it still added fine. Now I will say that these little purple ones have tiny holes, and so even though the needles go and threads going through them twice, and it probably would go through them a lot more than that because, you know, this isn't very thick. One thing you got is why it's sometimes giving me problems and pulling it up tight because the purple beads are not wanting to slide as easily as they could. So if you used a different bead down at the bottom, like the little crystals that we could have used, like this one here, but if I used that, I'd probably only use one, and then it would be the thing that turned, and you could just take hold of it and pull. So it would be sometimes a slightly larger bead would probably make it easier to pull it up tight because of the, oops, come on, all the way through the beads, not out. And over to the other side. You want to go through your eye pins each time so that it keeps a sort of a look all the way around properly. Come on, you're not quite there. There we go. So there's number one. We've changed sides on our eye pin, and now we're just going to keep going. Do the next one, and each time you do your row, and then you go through the eye pin, go from the other side. So you go back and forth each time. You put on a leg of your tassel. Like I say, if you don't want them all to be the same length, like I'm making them, they can be different lengths. You can put charms on the bottom as opposed to the bead that I've got in the just leave the bead off and hang a charm on there instead. That works really cool. I did that last Halloween when I made some of these with yellow and black seed beads, and then I put some bats as charms within there. So it worked really cute. Stop falling off. And I could have taken and put some other colors of beads in here. I have done these multicolor, and by that I mean I mixed up all my seed beads and put them various colors of seed beads, and have just done them with whatever comes up as far as the colors are concerned, because I just made them into a mix. You can do them with, say you do these 9 legs like we're doing here. Each leg could be a different color if that's what you wanted to do. Or maybe even a different hue of the same color, like we could have done these with a massive amount of different purples, if that's what we wanted to do. Did I go through? Yes, I did. Okay. So these are one of the few tassels I really like, is the seed bead tassels. They're fun. Another thing you could do is hook some pieces of chain onto your eye pin, and then there's 10. Then do some seed bead one, and then a chain with maybe a little dangle on the chain, and you could do a variety like that. You can do these in a number of different ways. It's just, don't let your imagination limit you. 10. Oh, that's 15, I think. 5. Yeah, 15. Need 5 more. Oops, I'm about to drop my wildflower on the floor here. My needles came out, so I can do 2 things: pull it back out, back in, and go back out where it belongs, which is what I just did. Or you can, like I just said, do it in segments rather than trying to do the needle through all at once. And the needle's trying to grab the thread over here on this side. There we go. Come on, go through. Good, got it good and tight that time. Ah, that's what you're doing. There we go. So now we're at leg number 4. 3 down, 6 to go. Your needle threaders break. Hey, Chris. Oh, it's soothing to watch me do these. You can't do it with a needle? How do you do it if you don't use a regular needle? Do you needle the thread? Because I would think it would be tremendously hard to get seed beads and things onto a little thread without the needle. I would think it would be a lot slower going, but I think I have the 20 there now. Yeah, I can tell I do. Now, I know some people who take their seed beads and things and divide them up in the piles of how many they want before they start putting them on the threads, and that's to so they don't have to count them as they go along. They just count them prior to starting. I think it just takes just as long one way or the other, so I don't care. Okay, needle, I think you just came out. Yep, you did. Okay, we're on this side. We need to go to the other side, so through we go. Ouch. 4 down, 5 to go. Thread needs to be advanced a little bit. There we go. Need to get some more seed beads out here. Okay, we're right up there at the top. We're just going to go straight through the eye as we go across here. 5 down, 4 to go. Up here and through the eye. And we pull our needle through, tighten her up. There we go. Advance our thread a little bit more since we're getting low here on one side. On the beading side, now we have 3 more strands we need to do here. This one doesn't want to go over the needle. So we're going to push it back up, put it aside. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7. 2 more to go. Come on, go through that last one. There we go. And now through the eye. I'm just going to pull it up because it doesn't want to go through the eye right now. Then I'm going to take it and loosely push it through the eye while the beads are not up here so that I can get it through here. There we go. All right, now I picked it up, and this is when they tend to start wrapping around each other. So I need to figure out where I've got my threads at, so they're not going to wrap around the other legs of our piece here. Come on, pull up here. Okay, I think we just have one more to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, one more to go. So we'll get some more of our seed beads out. Now see, I have plenty of thread this time, and I did a wingspan, as in fingertip to fingertip, when I put it out. So get some more seed beads out. And I'm going to show you what happens now if you put too many beads on and you go, oh God, I got too many beads on. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's the 10. There's the next 10. So that's what we would normally have on there. But we weren't paying attention and counting like we should, so we put an extra 5 on. So we get there and we look down and we realize, oh my goodness, it's got way too many beads on there. What am I going to do? So what you do, if you put all of them on, because we need the 3 purple ones too. And you look down and you realize this leg is way too long. We've got way too many beads on it. So what do? So instead of leaving this one off, go through this one as well. And we're going to carefully back up through the extra beads. So we have 5 extra beads on that we would have had counted and know what we're doing. Go back through here. And then when you pull this string through, because you didn't do the hold bead, they'll all fall off. So that's how you fix something if you've got too much, or if you've got, say you had too many beads on just like that, or if you noticed you had an error if you were doing a pattern, which you can do a pattern if you wanted to do that. Just remember this, all you got to do these is pull this one off and then go right up the line of your other beads. I believe this is my 9th one. We will check it once we get up here. We're already through the other side, so that's good. Let's keep going, pull it through, hold and pull everything up. We're good and tight, that's good. And so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that's what we had over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we've got our 9. That's all we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to recount again, make sure that's true. And then I'm going to take my strings. Since I have didn't have to add any other line, I only have the 2 strings this time, so just do an overhead knot, and I might, instead of just doing 2, I might do 3 or 4 just to make sure that it stays good. And now if you are a little bit leery about, is it going to stay, does it need some glue, this is where you glue it, right here, where our knot is right here. Now I'm going to take my thread burner and we're going to cut off those extra threads. I've left the needle on this side because it's a pretty long piece. I may want to just stick it to the side in case I want to use it for something else. So we'll do the thread, bing, bing, and now the thread's cut off. And I'm going to, since I've got probably a good foot left here, which now has a little melted knot at the bottom, it's going to sit over here for right now. These guys can slide out of the way, and we'll pick our seed beads up and put them back in the tube. We be done with these guys. So now we flip our eye pin so that these go this way, and of course we're going to now go through our bead cap, slide it down over the top of these pretty tight. Your own. Put our 2 beads on. As you can see, you can see the thread there. If you didn't want to see the thread and you were using, just the white, the black, I think I also have pink, you can use a bead that is that same color. Hi, Anastasia. And so we're going to get our pliers. We're going to do our bend. Get my bell making pliers. And up and over and around. Bring her around here. Come on, you. Come. There we go. And now when I'm finished, I've got this lollipop shape. So then I grab hold of the top here. Then twist it over to this hand because I'm right hand dominant. So I want to roll it with this hand. So then we're going to just take our second pair of pliers and, well, we're not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to let loose, baby. Slide down. And now we're going to go back to wrapping this up. I don't know why I want to keep dropping that off there. Oh, stop. And there's earring number 2. Just gotta put the ear wires on them and they are done. Now, do you have to use these things for earrings? No. You could put this on a bail and use it as a pendant and make a real pretty pendant. So we just need to get some ear wires, put those on ear wires, and we got these guys finished. Aren't they pretty? I think these little guys with this purpley blue on the base bead turned out really pretty. Adding these additional purples up here really brings the purple back up to the top. Like I say, I just need to get some ear wires and we'll just jump ring those on and it'll be really nice. I'm gonna put these little purple ones away. I don't want to lose them all over the place. I'm notorious for dropping things and I'll be the first to tell you so we don't want to do that if we can help it. Now, where'd these little guys come from? Oh, spot 2. So anyway, there is those as soon as I get the ear wires and put those on. What? Oh, this is Wildfire. I have it on a needle so that it's easier to work with because you have to go back and forth through the line. So I used white Wildfire for this. I also have black and pink, and I believe they make green as well, if I remember right. I don't have any, but that's what I used. Was the Wildfire thread. It's great for if I were going to do any bead weaving, that's what I would use, but I also use it obviously for doing my that's strange. Where are my ear wires? Did I leave them over here from when I put the other ones together? Oh, yeah, I did. Duh. They're right beside me. So we have, look, if I was working with the copper, I even have some copper ear wires. But here's the gold. I think, yeah, there's two different types in here, so I have to be careful that I don't put two different types on my earrings. I don't like the looks of that one too much. So I always open and close them to make sure they're working right. Sometimes they stick, and that's a problem and a half that you don't want them to have. Or they'll go down, but then when you go to put them back up, they don't want to go up. So well, those two feel pretty good. And I think they're the same kind. Yep, they are. So we'll use those. And just a couple of Tinky Tots. These are 4mm oval jump rings. One more. No, not two. But yeah, you could do these in all, like I say, you can do them in any kind of pattern you want. You can do multiple colored legs here instead of just the same thing. I was actually debating with myself before we started which colors I wanted to use. I had brought out some little 4mm bicones in blue, some dark red ones, and some green ones in case we wanted to do Christmas colors. But then I thought, you know what? This is perfect for the purples. And we're going to use the purples. I also have some gold seed beads, which I could have used for the beads, the seed beads, rather than this color. And like I say, do you have to put them on this? Use number 11s? No. Though I did use 11s, you can use 8s or 6s. Though you do got to remember that if you use that slides sideways, it doesn't want to close now. If you use like 6s or 8s, you're not going to get as many legs in your bead cap. So you're gonna need to test it as you go along and see, you know, how things are fitting. You don't want to get too many on and then hi Zach, and then discover that you've got too many legs. They won't fit up in your bead cap, and then you're sort of screwed, especially if you've ended it because and you're tied your knots, because then you're like, uh-oh, what do I do now? Do I just take this apart, which is heartbreaking if you have to take it apart, because let's face it, it's quite a bit of work to do all those little legs of your tassels. But and the only other option would be find a bigger bead cap to use. But I really like this style of bead cap. It works perfectly for a beaded tassel. As you can see, they're in there pretty good. I think we might have been able to, if we worked at it, got a 10th one in there. I don't think it was necessary though. So there is our beaded tassel earrings. Using the, I can't pronounce that name, phosphorodite or whatever they were, the little purple ones, and then the English cut crystal and the little regular rondelle crystal up at the top. And I did a weird one for me and did not put a spacer there, but I think it looks great. So there we go. There's our tassel earrings from today. And of course, like I said, here are the poinsettias that I finished since I put them together, since I needed to spray my paints. So I think they turned out really pretty. So you're going to do a replay? That's cool. Thank you, Anastasia. And you think they're lovely. Janet and Carolyn says they're beautiful, and I thank you very much. Janet, you lost your tape measure and then discovered that it was right under a cloth right beside you. Yes, I've done that before too. Or I've used a tool and I sat it down and then I went to get it again and it's like, where did I put that? Where is it? I can't find it for the world. And then it turns out that it's right under my nose, of course. Happens all the time. Thank you, Zach. I'm glad you think they're cute. Oh. So you're making a list of supplies that you need when you watch the videos? Okay. Well, then let's go over them. These two pieces are for these earrings. I painted the poinsettias, and them and the connector here were from the newest Beadbox Bargains. I think it's called Winterberry. Winterberry Wishes is what that collection is called. Now, when they release the extras, they will, if there's any more kits, if you don't get it, you can get it from Beadbox Bargains. It is more expensive if you get it as an individual item as opposed to your subscription. These also came from Beadbox Bar. These came the kidney wires with the pretties on them. Those came from Beadbox Bargains. And the last time I checked, I think they actually had them on their sale section. I don't know if they still are, but they were. For our earrings here, these little guys, and they've got a really weird name, phosphoridite or something like that. And the two up here, the two crystals, came again from the Winterberry Wishes kit. These are 8/0 Toho seed beads. Oh, they're 11s. Sorry, not 8s. And see, they're Toho 11/0. They're a little bit more expensive. The Japanese, what is the other one? Mayukis, Tohos and Mayukis. Because they're a Japanese brand and they're very consistent in size, whereas the check glass seed beads are not consistent. They don't really pay attention to when they cut them. So if you use the check glass ones, which you can use, there's no reason why you can't. They won't be consistent in size though, so your tassels will probably have some spots that are longer than others, and that's all right. They look fine that way. The bead cap was also from Beadbox Bargains. It's cap 568. It was $1.59 for 10 of them. I have used two of them in this. I used 2 in a multi-strand bracelet the other day. So I still have 6. So they're a nice, lovely, deep bead cap. They also are nice on, let's see if I think I have some right here. So for these type of things, I prefer something a little bit thinner, filigree of some kind. But you see, I've got some really pretty stone teardrops. So these type of caps will work on these as well. They slide right over the top like so. And they make a nice teardrop earring. They actually don't go up in all the way because this is thicker here than the top of this, but they still work really nicely. And then, of course, there's an eye pin inside here, which is also a Beadbox Bargain eye pin. It is pin 561 eye pins. And of course, some ear wires. Now you can use any type of ear wires you want to hook these together. I tend to just use lever backs. I prefer lever backs because I have had so many earrings get lost in the past, and I haven't really lost any since I started using the lever backs. So, and if there's one thing I hate, it's when I lose my earrings. And I just dropped something on the floor. I'm going to see what that was. But anyway, oh, you did contact them, Dorothy? Well, good. I hope that they can get you a new one. It's really upsetting when you lose or break a bead and it's the only one you have and you have to have it to finish something up. So, oh no. Oh, that's horrible, Dorothy. You don't have any water because a pipe broke? I hope it wasn't in your apartment, but it was in your building. I'm glad you appreciated it, Carolyn, and I hope the instructions helped you if you want to make some of the beaded tassels. I usually do not like tassels, but I really like the beaded ones. I think they're really pretty, and they're so much different than you could get with a with string or chain or something like that. But like I said, you could put chain in here, though, because you're going back and forth through the eye pin so much. If you do use chain, you do have to be careful of it so that you don't put too much in so that your strings won't go through. So, and you do need to have a small eye pin for your stop bead. So, I have frequently just made an eye pin when I'm making something like this so that I can make a small, really small loop. But you'll notice that if you watch the beginning, I did test to make sure that my seed bead would not go through my eye in my eye pin. Okay, it's time, almost time for Heather to come on, just about less than 10 minutes. So we're going to take off and we're going to turn up first. So anyway, there's our earrings. This is yesterday's earring. I finished it up because we did need to spray the Krylon on the Rust-Oleum is what I used for these. For the poinsettias paint, make sure that it doesn't come off easily. And then, of course, here is our earrings from today, our pretty beaded tassel. We used our Winterberry Wishes mix for the purple beads, all three of the style of purple beads. And I know those are a little time consuming, a little boring to make because, let's face it, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. But they turn out so pretty. And so I hope you all enjoyed making those with me. Like I say, we are going to go. So you're welcome, Janet and Anastasia. And that's a perfectly good idea, Dorothy. If they don't have more of the little leaves, you can't get another one, then turn the one earring you have made into a pendant. This is an excellent plan. And that would work for these tasseled earrings too. This makes a really, really pretty pendant if you want to use it for a pendant for a necklace. So there we go, all done. And let's head over and see Heather because she should be on in about less than 10 minutes. So we'll see you all later. It's been good having you here. And I hope you enjoyed making these earrings with me. We'll see you all later. Bye-bye. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden.